Let me refresh and try to hear my own voice. I got no banner picture. Yeah, I really don't like streaming OBS. Okay, hold on. Let me try to hear myself. Okay, hold on. Alright, cool. Let me close this out. So yeah, it's been my first... Oh, Kuko Freeze alter ego. It's actually a nice item. So yeah, it's been my first break doing this since I started in September of 2020. I went and visited my father for the duration of Saturday. Let me do the math in my head. Saturday, June 11, all the way to Sunday, June 19th. And, you know, I'm here, I'm back. It was kind of rough, you know, having to say bye to him on Father's Day, but my plan was to come back today. We couldn't come back today. He had a medical appointment, which I should really ask him about when he's done with it. I got him a copy of Final Fantasy 13, and we played that. So I got to beat 13 again. I had an easier time playing the game. I knew all the correct paradigm things to use because I understand the logic of the game. So I was running through everything for a couple of attempts, except for the first stage of Orphan. That one kind of walled me because I was using the wrong paradigms of Vanille on lead. But aside from that, I got to enjoy that game a lot more than when I gave my initial review back in 2014. The story still has a lot of problems. The story is a damn mess, but I'm willing to forgive the iniquities of the story. No, just cause I got to see my pops have a little fun with that shit. Same with 15. I hate 15, but you know, the fact that my pops was able to glean some enjoyment from that game, that's a good thing. Although, you did notice that the game was hard as fuck, because I had to be really, you know, I'm gonna say clever with my playing in order to figure out how to adapt to all these different enemies and things of that nature. I'm not turtling up the way I used to, just rev, com, sab, whatever. That's the type of monkey brain playing that you do when you play 13-2 and when you play some of these other games. The post-game bosses of 13, you play like that actually. You shut your brain completely off for that stuff. Okay, so it has been a while since I played this. Let me look at some of the stuff. Oh, I got a Discord notification. Is it from... Yup, it's from this thing. Let me copy my URL. I'm surprised this man has not fixed the settings on his, like, thing, because, like, I don't have permission to post on the regular Twitch stuff because either Red Dragon or whatever, didn't set it up. It's a little ridiculous. So that's it on that. I also got to play a little bit of Demon Souls. I fought the bosses in the recommended order. World 1, 2. So yeah, I did Clap Tower Knight my first try. Armored Spider took me a while. I kind of, tanked him to death more than anything else. I wanted to fight Fool's Idol because, she has her toes out and you know how that interests me all the time. Aside from that, there's not really much for me to say on Demon Souls. It's a little different from what I expected, the game design. I like the NPCs in that, obviously. My girl Maiden in Black got her toes out, but also the blacksmiths and the shopkeepers that are crazy as fuck. It's an interesting game in that sense. North Gooseberg. I've been trying to get to South Gooseberg, but I'm not reading this map correctly because my brain is absolutely rusted up on this game. I mean, I was playing Final Fantasy 13, the hallway fest. That spatial part of my brain was fucked up. And Demon Souls is actually linear as fuck too. My main issue with Demon Souls, I like the storyline aspect of it. The way people present the story, it doesn't properly show you how interesting it really is. But the spirit of Kingsfield is not there with the map design. Like, these dungeons go on for way too fucking long and they're kind of linear. I'm more interested in getting the shortcuts and the items so I can just run my way through towards the end and get to the boss, which I do because thankfully it is linear. If you're a little mindful, you'll figure things out, but it goes on for way too long, these dungeons. Like the prison thing I was in towards the end, right before getting to Fool's Idol, which I haven't done yet. It was kind of a pain in the ass, but when I get my hands on Demon Soul again, I'm gonna run down on that shit. Saw a couple of spoilers for the Dragon Ball Super movie. Don't really have much to say about that other than with regards to Gohan's transformation. I like how it matches the colors of the original Super Saiyan before the anime adaptation kind of decided how it was going to look, and they were going to look like Aryan warriors as opposed to vampires. And it kind of makes sense even though there's like no lore explanation for it. Someone was like, yo, this is basically just a rage-amped Ultimate Gohan, Mystic Gohan, and that makes sense. It fits him. With that Dragon Ball Super chapter, I was kind of liking Vegeta versus Gas, even though people were hating on that because, he dropped again, but it was a very visceral experience because Gas was getting his combos in and Vegeta would counter with one hit and that hit would be heavy as fuck, so Gas wasn't liking it. and it seems like his body is to its absolute limit before Vegeta ultimately couldn't take it anymore. And he was just telling Goku at that point, look, you gotta get your shit together, cause I'm putting the moves in because my shit's getting stronger since I'm taking so much damage. Your ability does not have that power to it. So he brought out Ultra Instinct Sign or Ultra Instinct Omen, and I thought that was badass because there's a lot of people who actually prefer the look of Ultra Instinct Omen, Ultra Instinct Sign. And they get to have their moment. Because it's like, this is him kind of being able to use the form while not having to be calm, while being able to be fierce. And it sort of ties in with what we said about making that Ultra Instinct technique into your own thing. Well, this is one way for him to kind of apply that. And it buffs up Ultra Instinct Sign. A fan favorite form. And that's cool. It becomes like a side grade thing. Like, yeah, the silver haired form is good, but it requires a different mindset. It's more draining on the stamina. So making Sign stronger to the point where he was actually slightly stronger than what's his face, Gas at that point. Which was also likely because Gas got fucked up with a couple nasty gut hits, gut shots. But regardless, he was able to get the edge, get the combos in on Gas, and Alec is on his abusive older bro bullshit. You gotta let's take one for your team, be our sacrifice. And as we can see with the transformation near the end, the dude's kind of on his last lifespan. He was getting kind of older now, so not a little kid no more. Not the prime adult he kind of turned into. He's just sort of turning middle age old almost. He's looking old actually. Like a well-aged 60-year-old. A show like that. So we're gonna see the consequences of what happens when you wish for that type of power instead of working your ass off to get it, I guess. But he was just tortured by his bro Alec. And I guess when Granola comes back, he's gonna do his thing to Alec, get his revenge that way, whereas Gas is more of a sins of a father thing for Son Goku. And I like this. It seems like we're gonna get the wrap up pretty soon. A lot of people really just didn't like this arc ever since the introduction of the 2-star Dragon Ball. But I'm kind of fine with it. I wasn't really feeling the previous chapter, even though the idea of these two guys fighting together in their ultra forms is an interesting concept of teamwork, and Son Goku really making that effort to make sure that the Shugarians don't get killed by that blast, while Vegeta kind of takes the mantle of dealing with Gas himself. That was kind of interesting, but it was a waste. This is okay, we get to see Sign kind of become its own thing, surpass mastered Ultra Instinct in some cases, because you can tap into that Saiyan intensity, which does tie in with the themes of the arc, and that's kind of cool and all, but I'm always going the opposite way of where I should go. It's I know I have a good sense of West and East and all this shit, but it's I can't do this stuff mindlessly. I have to do it mindfully. And I kind of hate that. Because I just want to focus on my commentary and discussing all these things that have happened. Obviously, with regards to that, I was hoping that by the time the movie got an international release, that we would see the wrap up to this arc. So maybe not the release, on June, of course, for Japan, but when it comes stateside, so August 19th, I'm hoping that that's around the time that this arc wraps up, so we can focus on the next arc. But I don't know, because Boruto is going to be out next month, so we have to wait until August for it. Will it be the case with Dragon Ball Super as well? I'll have to check. On the other hand, Boruto, a lot of people aren't feeling the hiatus. A lot of people don't like the fact that Code jobs this chapter. I could have actually done a reaction to that today, but I decided not to because I have so many things I need to speak about. And I like Code's new form. The fact that he's apparently faster and stronger, but he's still no match for Damon. As it stands, he got spoiled a little on Damon's powers and kind of how they work mechanically. Where he needs to be touching somebody in order to really do those counters, but it doesn't really matter because Damon is still just faster and stronger in terms of taijutsu and Code. And since we know that Ida has taijutsu abilities as well that exceed Jigen's, she's not all hacks. That's sort of interesting. I will say the scientific ninja tool system, it kind of does turn Boruto into sort of a shittier Dragon Ball in terms of it just being martial arts and a couple signature moves, which really just turns it into a slightly better WWE since motherfuckers only use 2 moves on that program nowadays. The days of the 5 moves of Doom is kind of what we're done with. It's the 2 moves of Doom. But, people said it, Damon is super uncharismatic, he's got a punchable face, he's the least cool looking Kishimoto character I've ever seen, and that kind of makes him look like the type of a bastard that you just want to, beat up on. So even though Code is obviously more evil than Damon, and Damon has the potential for a face turn, same with Ida, they're kind of going on a trip to Konoha, but it's still really annoying as hell. His whole vibe and shit like that. So they're probably gonna come through, get the Amado treatments, become honorary Konoha citizens, and in exchange for helping them deal with the Code problem. That's probably when their behavior is either going to be too sus or they're going to have a slight face turn. Who knows what will happen? I'm hoping for more uncertainty because really the theme of this arc seems to be siblings and what it means to be a good brother, just like how the previous arc was what it means to be a good father. A lot of people don't like the fact that he jobbed, but I don't mind the fact that he jobbed because in many ways this isn't really Code's final form. Extincting the planet, eating of its Shinju fruit, and becoming an Otsutsuki deity, that's gonna be his final form. Of course, that would require that someone gets fed to the Shinju fruit. I don't know how that's gonna play off. I went there. Yo, I am always going the wrong way. That's the thing. I'm being mindless right now because I'm focusing more on commentary. The One Piece chapter, on the other hand, I liked Robin kind of making reference to Pluton and her being in the Poneglyph room. Obviously, seeing Odin's pops, Momo, Nosuke's grandfather was surprising, and that admiral, vice admiral, whatever, who clapped all three of those. And he's an admiral. He clapped he clapped two of those like Yonko commanders, those second in commands, pretty easily. I mean, that just shows that Luffy still has challenges ahead of him in terms of the admirals, and as we get to his final saga. Buggy ended up becoming the next Yonko, alongside obviously Luffy. Like both the previous Yonko got like excommunicated from that status, which I didn't think was gonna happen. Like, you clap up a Yonko and they're disqualified from being a king. I guess it's because their territory is gone. She probably doesn't have Cold Cake Island anymore, and he don't got one on him anymore. So yeah, they're no longer kings, emperors. Their empires are gone. You know, they obviously, she kind of had that thing put into question when Luffy took over Fishman Island. But that's why Kid was so like pissed with Luffy, trying to be like, oh, let me fight you because if I clap you, I'm gonna be the next Yonko. Because yeah, Law and Kid both defeated a Yonko, and as a result, they both have, all three of them, Kid, Luffy, and Law, have 3 billion berry, double berry, like, that was just berries, not double berries. I'm thinking double dollars, like Trigun. Bounty, so the bounty's like 3 billion now. It's like, yeah, they had to team up to take care of Yonko. It wasn't like they soloed him the way Luffy ended up, finally soloing Kaido, so he's like a tier above. I guess when they tried to clap up Buggy, he must have gotten lucky enough that he retained, while he lost his warlord status, he gained Yonko status, which is badass. I like Buggy the Clown, man. He's an interesting character. Obviously, the cult of personality they have for him for being kind of this weakling who gets by successfully through luck is kind of a meme at this point, but I don't know, early, East Blue One Piece is my favorite One Piece. I haven't really been fucking with much of, Part 2 One Piece. It has excellent moments here and there. And that's kind of where things stick out for me. And, One Piece is going into its final saga, so that's cool. Dangrif Wadi. So I gotta fight a bunch of lizards here. Trust. My free month is almost over for this game, but I don't mind paying for it some more because I got money up the ass now after my trip. This place is a fucking wasteland. So, who am I supposed to fight? Okay, I'm gonna just pull out a walkthrough for this, see what enemy I need to kill. BG, Wiki, Bastok missions, okay. I really like One Piece's chapter, but obviously, the star of this week has not been the chapters. If anything, it was the Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary special stream. That's really been where everything's kind of stood out. Come on, John G. Come on, you don't got pics to show? Oh. Oh, okay, so I just gotta fight lizards. Well, baby, won't you come my way? Okay, that was a lizard tail. Okay, come on now. Why isn't tab working for me? Alright, so I just gotta keep fighting lizards until I get it. And when I get the egg, I'll just turn it in, do the next mission I gotta do. How many crystals do I have, by the way? So I got one dark crystal, and then I guess if I check the... I got a bunch of earth crystals. Okay, so... fire crystal... Okay, so I got a bunch of stuff that I can potentially use to... get started on my next missions. When all of this is said and done. Apparently I'm at a level now where I can actually lose experience for dying, so I gotta be a little more careful about that. 8%, but... let me look at my thing right now. 8% of 6,400 is likely going to be... not enough to get me to level down, actually, but if I do it twice, then it will. Obviously, Crisis Core getting remastered. I've been complaining about this on Discord, even though I don't like Crisis Core as a game. I think it's actually a funny game, but more importantly, so much of the lore of Remake is dependent on you understanding what happened in Crisis Core. Not just Zack's death, obviously, because people say, oh, well, that was in the original, but things pertaining to Project G and Project S as well, and all these other world building experiments. All of that is important, so it makes sense that this would get a proper HD remaster so that people can experience the story and enjoy it that way. Okay, so I managed to walk my way back to the entrance, but it's not really what I wanted to do. Still, the fact that I'm able to walk my way back means that, I at least have that to look forward to. This game does that thing. What else? They used the remake assets for the remaster, so it's one of those like remasters where they changed the assets completely. Like they don't like act faithful to the old art style, and I don't like those type of remasters. But that's the type of remasters that we've collectively deemed as good. If someone does like a 2013 era style remaster where they don't change the art style to modern sensibilities, how things look presently, we kind of like diss on that. So I can see why they did it, and this is a way for them to like actually have an easier time because now that they can put it to the modern engine, these newer assets, they don't even have to change the animation. Fantasy 7. Yep. Okay, monster has a treasure. It's a temp chest. Okay, so I gotta memorize this spot. Someone's casting spells. Where do they see me? Besides Crisis Core, obviously Part 2, Rebirth, that's hype news. I think even more hype than the actual trailer. The trailer itself I didn't think was that interesting since it leaned more into characters such as Aerith, Tifa, Sephiroth, Zack, Cloud. The characters in FF7 that everyone kind of like knows about, and they're not like hyper. They've been hyper analyzed to death and stuff like that. But yeah, it just wants to lean into like, oh, shit's gonna be slightly different now. So they show us a little bit of the calm flashback and a little bit of the other Cloud and Zack making it to like the alternate Midgar, I guess. It's actually better for me not to go too deep in some cases, because this would probably be like fucked up for me otherwise. Like that aspect of the thing doesn't excite me too much, because while I do like the story, writing for Final Fantasy VII, this whole remake project, I think it's bad storytelling to try to get us interested in the outcome of a story. Especially when you've got like a multi-part saga. Like, I guess if it was like an in medias res, so you're wondering how I got in this situation type of story. Kind of like what you get with 10 and even 15, that would make sense. But in the case of Final Fantasy 7 Remake in particular, trying to get us into this idea of, what if these characters, aren't dead at their predetermined spots anymore? Well, now you got us thinking about outcomes. You're not having us think about the journey. So when you have a multi-part series and you have us thinking about the outcome, not the end, not the like journey to get there, you've kind of like alienated your own audience, because Rebuild did that. I have not been keeping up. I haven't watched like the third or fourth Rebuild film, and the gap between movies 3 and 4 was like ridiculous. I know how it like wraps up on paper, but it's like I'm not that into the idea of watching these films, really, because they got me into an outcome as opposed to getting me into like the journey. And they're trying to like get you into the journey as well. They're doing the unknown journey will continue. Like, who knows how things will play out here on out, but everything about how they're delivering it with the final boss fight remake and the integrated thing, and even this trailer showcases, it's not the journey they're even showing, because that trailer did not show us anything of Cloud's ongoing adventures with Barrett, Red, Tifa, Aerith, all those other guys. We got a little bit of a Gold Saucer line. I know that we're gonna at least have the second trip to Gold Saucer, and where Aerith says she wants to know the real Cloud. I wonder if there's gonna be like some optional stuff with like who you date, or if Cloud can even go on multiple dates. But the real exciting part is that the trilogy is confirmed, and that they're at least doing pre-production for part 3 right now, and Nomura is kind of like on that. That's hype. That's hype, because I was of the mindset that, it might be possible that this is a 4-parter. Anyway, everybody's thinking this is coming out in 2023. It might come out 2024 because it's saying next winter, and most of the winter for a time takes place at the start of a year, because the winter solstice is at the 21st of the month. Just like the summer solstice is the 21st of June. With that being said, there's also the issue that video games nowadays aren't really like Christmas presents anymore. They don't come out around the holidays. They come out afterwards, because it's almost like they don't want to compete with the holidays. Like, they're working antagonistically instead of congruently as they used to. And that to me just comes across as like weird. I guess people aren't getting games on Christmas anymore because they're busy getting other gifts for the holidays, or planning out these events more often, because I think after a while people are more interested in having moments than actual tangible things. Okay, main menu. I'm gonna do what you say. Configurations. Area display. Okay, let's see. Okay, well, I like it. It fills the screen nicely. Oh, you know, area display actually is good for building spatial awareness. Good on you. I don't even need the map at that point. I can just rely on the walkthrough. So thanks. Okay, let me check something. I see. 1 hour for... Let me see what that represents. Probably something related to that. And for the Chad ring, 5 hours. Cool. What is that? Oh, Signet. I see. Did they just fight like a notorious monster? Let me see how, you know, badass these guys are. Okay, check. Level 97. Okay, these are endgame. That thing looked badass, man. I don't even think it matched the ecosystem of this area, which actually just makes it look more badass. Like it doesn't depend on nature. Nature works to its will. Ecology and whatnot. Badass. Okay. So these rock lizards, eventually they could drop a lizard's egg. What is that smell in this room? Yeah, I'm farming a lizard's egg for like the 2-2 Bastok mission. Music is good, man. Dangrove chess key. Wonder what that's for. Besides unlocking something, of course. Okay. I don't think I have. I have the map for Winder still. The only nation I've really stuck to is Bastok. I've been to Jauna and Selbina as well. Okay, so I'm just getting lizard tails now. Let's see what they got up in here. The hunt is on. Curious about something. So do they have like a graphed up even when you don't have a map? Well, you don't really need it at that point. I'm getting lizard tails, but I'm not getting lizard eggs. What is that noise? That noise that's in my kitchen right now is scaring the hell out of me. Oh, you know what it is? I think it's the squirrels. They burrowed in the house again. I hope one doesn't come through that rug and like attack us. Attack me, really. I'm all alone. Y'all know, like 2 weeks ago, a bunch of squirrels actually attacked my mom's and they like jumped her for her donuts. She had to like drop them and run off. Man, those squirrels is gangster as hell. I'm not messing with no squirrels nowadays. I don't underestimate anybody, man. Oh, let me watch this to see how they do. I will say though, the donuts that she had weren't like regular donuts. She went to like a really nice, expensive bakery, so a French bakery type place. So they weren't after them Dunkin' Donuts type donuts. They were after something that was a lot more. Actually, no. The place she got it from was actually Middle Eastern. So we're gourmet. That's why they wanted it, man. If it was a regular Dunkin' Donuts, they probably would have left her alone, because it's like, that's kind of stale anyway. They're like on a lamp. It's like the Popeyes of done. Let me not diss Popeyes. I actually like Popeyes a lot, but oh man, it's terrible what happened to her. Oh. Let me drop one of these. How many lizard tails did I get? The Goblin Weaver is standing around like he's an employee or something like that. It's funny. You know, that's the thing though. Throughout my entire life, I tried to like coleslaw, and I never could. Like there's this deli near me where I try to have a coleslaw there. I had the same adverse reaction. The high school I went to, the school cafeteria would serve coleslaw sometimes, and I would try to give it a chance. But as soon as I dip my tongue on that, ugh. I don't know. It's just not for me. Let's see. Where are all the lizard tails that I got? Maybe I should sort this in alphabetical order. Okay, so I got one lizard tail. Yeah, I remember not having an adverse reaction to KFC's coleslaw. That's the thing, it's something that I want to like. I've been trying to give it a chance for 13 years at this point. Yeah, I have. Feeling a bit lazy on that. Mod case, mod board. I got a good TLDR from one of my subscribers, followers actually, how to use this stuff. Green blood. I'm gonna have to eventually like start selling some of these things. They must be trying to farm something too. I like playing this game because you'll just walk into like someone who's crazy endgame level while you're chilling and doing your thing. It's a recycling bin. You know what I realized? It's probably my younger bro, because that dude likes to actually they throw out the wrong thing in the wrong bin. So that fishy smell is probably some Mexicano food that he had. Let me see. Come on. Oh yeah. Alright, so do rock lizards even drop lizards' eggs? Might actually be better off just skipping to the other mission. Let me check my status at the moment. Okay. I should really update my records of eminence so I can get better EXP. Oh yeah. shoulder's itchy. What is that? Turned it ass into rub roast. Let's go. Oh yeah. Oh. I didn't mean to focus you. My bad. Let me see. Ah, my foot. Oh shit. Oh, I got a notification. Let me take a look at it. It's a TikTok notification. Anya's started following me. Okay. Let's see this robot lady. It's always like the users with like incomprehensibly written names to make you realize, okay, this is like a bot. Actually, I'm curious. Items. I might have actually already had a lizard's egg. Just from being here in the past. So I had a couple lizard tails in the past. Let's see. Yeah, no eggs. No eggs whatsoever. Ooh. Ooh. Come on, let's get it. 3 of them here, so. Woo! Nice crit. That critterus. That's what I want to see. Let me check my equipment right now. Equipment. Okay, let's see. Links, bag knocks. So this is for when I get to like level 68. I can just plop that on and start cutting people left and right. Let me check what's going on here. Wadi crab. Oh. My bad. You really need to fix your posture. Even though... Actually, just take the backpack off, man, because that shit'll make you look like a lizard. This is a 240... 480p game, man. Like, you gotta be a little careful now. My eyes are used to the world of 1080p, 720. Come on. I remember when I used to like take fighting those worms seriously. Okay, rock lizard, come on. What's this other notification I'm getting? Oh, I got a text message. I'm starting to think my phone is getting annoyed at me because I turn off my Wi-Fi before I go to sleep. Because I'm getting these SMS messages way too late, man, but... Been going back and forth to the same old spots, but this is what I need, man. I need some eggs from these lizards. It was open season on them. Let's see, users in chat. Alright. Got bloop blooped. Come on. Okay. Oh, I like that. It was clean, the numbers. 100, 100. Quest. Records of eminence. Let's see. So how much XP do I get? So just by clapping 200 dudes, I can make enough money to the XP to level up. Okay, so all I really gotta worry about is just continuing to stay aggressive with that. Let me get the movement mapped in my head. Okay, I'm just gonna sit back and relax. Steam lizards. I think I'll give you guys a little bit more updates on my personal life, because I have been gone for a weekend so I did have a pretty uneventful time with my pops, but there were a couple of strange happenings. I think I'd rather wait for Jack Stein to come back, because that dude's always asking questions about my personal life and trying to pry in, so it'd be me having to repeat the same story twice if he comes around. I hate when sound effects drop. No bloop bloop? Okay. I'm trying to go deep. The Wadi beaches are actually like not something you want to mess with. See, I'm getting lizard tails, but I'm not getting lizard eggs. Okay, so I got the vanquished vermin. Probably shouldn't mess with this guy, 'cause I know one of these is like a killer. I don't know what the vanquished vermin thing entails, but if I can get free EXP, that's really all that matters to me. Yeah, I'll take free EXP while I'm looking for a bunch of lizards. You gotta hear a word from me about that. Come on, man. But yeah, Remake Part 2, obviously getting a second ending. I mean, getting announced is like a big deal. That was hype as hell. Although I will say this, people are only hype about that because 16 got announced for next year. If 16 got announced for this year and that was announced for like effectively 2024, people would have been pissed then. But because now we have a greater frame of reference, all of a sudden that's good news. And of course, some people think that they're gonna get the game in 2023. Might be the case. I doubt that we're gonna see 7.0, Final Fantasy 14, 16, and Rebirth all in the same year. When it's next winter, I'm thinking next winter as in winter January, February 2024. But I could be wrong. Uriel Blade. That's such a paladin name for an attack. Just name the attack after like an angel, an archangel. Badass. It's all good. That one quote has me, at least acknowledging, hey, they're still gonna cover the major locales of the OG, because that was a Gold Salsa quote. So if we're gonna be in Gold Salsa, we can be anywhere else. More interested right now in heading to some of my favorite locales from that part of the OG game, getting some of the backstories of my favorite secondary, tertiary characters in your party. Everything else is kind of whatever. And it's whatever and a good thing, because I'm trying to do my best to be more interested in the journey and not the outcome, even though Square is really trying to get us to do the former with all of its delivery and how it's trying to generate intrigue and hype. And that's going to turn a lot of people off, because a lot of them are just going to be like, yo, get to the point. And they don't want to get to the point. They want to meander so that you can engage in discussion and theorizing. I've seen a lot of the discussions, with the exception of Livestream, there's not really a lot of guys who really talk about lore in that manner. They would rather criticize the meta writing and the logistics of the development than speak about how the universe of this setting actually works. So they're trying to get those lunchroom discussions, the meme with those three 12-year-olds sitting in a living room discussing something about Sonic. Yeah, that's what they want. They're not getting that, especially not out of adults, because adults really don't have the humility for that. They'd rather speak as if they are raiders, because they feel that that's something that at this point they should be qualified to do. Otherwise, they're incompetent in life. Which that's not a healthy way of thinking about things, but hey. Since when did our modern world facilitate healthy thinking about anything? Anyway. Heaven's Feel was also like a thing where I wasn't really interested in like the story as much as the outcome of them wrapping that up, because it was a movie trilogy and stuff like that. But if I do eventually sit down and watch Heaven's Feel for Fate Stay Night, it'll probably be the exception. The Xenosaga, I was more interested in the journey and not the destination, and that was a testament to Xenosaga being good at what it was trying to do in terms of storytelling, not necessarily writing, because I'm not talking about writing right now. I'm talking about like a story being told. You don't necessarily need to be a good writer to be a good storyteller. A story could just be like me explaining what happened to me on my way to work or something like that. You've got to get people interested in the build-up and the payoff as well. It's got to be like, you know, interesting or deliberately anticlimactic if you want to get people, you know, thrown off. But that's the thing. All you got to really do is focus on the build-up of that payoff. You fucked up when people are like, yo, no, I don't want to hear a story. Just tell me what happened. Like Walking Dead. I ended up snapping at somebody like that because I wanted them to tell me like what happened to this guy, and then he like tried to tell me the story. I'm like, no, I don't want to hear that shit. Just tell me what the fuck happened, because The Walking Dead fucked up as a story, so I wasn't able to give a fuck. So I got all snarky instead. I'm hitting harder. Oh, that was a crit actually. Let me get rid of this crap because it's an eyesore. Okay. That's really all I gotta say about that. Is this notification still going on? Let me check. So I'm on and Maxim is on with like either a casual speedrun or just casual playthrough of Mega Man Battle Network. I like seeing casual percent. That's when like someone is so used to speedrunning that they start to look at non-speedruns with that type of structure, or thinking about like playtime for something where playtime doesn't really matter. It's not just Maxim's. Caleb Hart is also kind of like that. And to an extent, Bloody Biscuits as well. You just kind of get used to the speedrun structure of delivering your content. Okay, class, let's see, records of animates. Damage. So, okay, I'm halfway done with total damage. level sync, so I can level down. Okay, it seems like I'm heading to like the entrance. Yeah, trying to farm this thing is kind of being a pain in the ass to me. Ah, man, it smells like cologne in here. Ugh, I hate cologne. I don't get what, like, hood dudes really just want to, like, use cologne as a substitute for, like, soap and water. She got my nostrils flaring, man. Nose is way too sensitive for that shit, man. I know people say I stink like shit, but that's just because I'm trying to do everything to detox. These guys are not even trying to do that, and they're just like smelling like straight booty. Man, because of flowers. Well, I think like the intense toxicity of like those flower scents. Them flowers is trying to kill you for fucking them up like that. Trying to get in the way of me reproducing? Well, watch this. I'm gonna dust your ass with this. Oh, you like that? Well, I'm gonna just dust you harder until you don't like it. Like perfume, I can tolerate, cause like women be getting the stuff that don't smell so strong, but dudes, I don't know how dudes got into the idea that they need these like more toxic smelling fragrances. Yeah, the thing I'm looking forward to the most in part 2 is getting some of that stuff with Barrett's backstory and his connection to Dyne, and also Redford scene with Bugenhagen and Seta. Obviously, Rocket Town as well. I want to fight Palmer. I always thought Rocket Town had like a quirk to it. And it was also the place where you can hear the Wall Market theme again. That was something that was neglected to us for such a while. But we're probably not gonna get that. Rocket Town is probably gonna have its own new music. That's about it. Like I'm interested in characters getting their own little arcs. Usually that's stuff that people complain about when they talk about like shonen, how they want these secondary characters to have like leading role moments and always be active in the story. And for stories to not be so main character centric, because that's really what modern fandoms are really into nowadays. It's like ensemble cast stuff. But in the case of that section of Final Fantasy VII, because it was such a like monster of the week type thing, it would be so nice to have that. adds a little bit of an episodic fun factor to the overall story. That section of the story is essentially Naoki Urasawa's Monster, which I am a fan of Naoki Urasawa's Monster, the whole like search for Sephiroth thing before Meteor becomes a main platform. That's about it now. Like, I appreciate the fact that the story seems to be heading to Forgotten Capital. I wonder how they're gonna do that, considering how many assets they'll have to make for like maps and things of that nature. But the game looks better than Remake Part 1, so much so that Remake Part 1... they're gonna have to patch the fuck out of Intergrade to really make that one match up. I'll be buying those games, but I likely won't be playing them or looking into them that much because presently I don't think I'll be having access to a PlayStation 5 anytime soon, and I can't really think about that outcome. So 2023 right now is looking to me like Ayuden Chronicles and very much so Ao no Kiseki, Hajimari no Kiseki, Trails to Azure. Okay, we're back near the entrance. Let me actually look this up, because I could be wasting my own time. Rock, Lizard, FFXI, Wiki. Okay, let's see what it drops. So I have to go to North Gustaberg. Alright, well, if that's what I gotta do, then fuck it, that's what I gotta do. I'm still gonna fight them, cause whatever. I don't possess a map for Dangrove Wadi. Well, I don't necessarily need a map to get to the map screen to like actually look at a map. There are other advantages. It's more of a Bluetooth for myself. Come on. Fuck. Whatever. Yeah, these quests that pertain to drop rates, I'm just straight up not having a good time with them. But yeah, this is the thing. This is exactly what Square needs, or really just any game showcase needs, in order to get us to actually like give a fuck. A lot of people seem to jump to this conclusion that I think that devs need to make weeaboo-centric games for me to really just care about what's being showcased, and that's not necessarily the case. Even going back to like 2018, there were times when I would be shown something that's like obviously Western not for me, but it was like, okay, there's obviously something of value being shown here to someone. One of the things that people have to realize when they showcase something or demonstrate whatever it is you have to convey value. And these current trailer makers, they don't convey value in anything they show. Nothing looks important. That's the thing, it's unfortunate, but like Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest thing, some of that stuff actually looked good. Like, even the E3 showcase that had Final Fantasy 16, like people were like dogging on it a bit harder than even I was. But the reality is that stuff did indeed look, some of it looked like it had value to it. Was that value properly conveyed? No. Because these guys that make these games, they don't really like understand that gamers actually do have like standards. They speak to us the way they used to speak to the fitness community, which is that, we're dumb, we're gonna just take anything that they throw at us. And that is true for some of us. A lot of us actually, but for the ones that are actually going to put in money and be truly dedicated to you guys, you gotta showcase a little more than that. Hell, even if they're dumbasses, you gotta really still show, like, okay, this is like something valuable for this reason. None of these trailers, for the most part, do that. They don't let us know why this is as important as it needs to be. This is kind of what Final Fantasy VII's 25th anniversary showcase succeeded in doing. It was like, okay, we're gonna show you why these things are valuable. Even if I don't agree with the value that they tried to present, they still attempted and succeeded at it. More so than anything that Keighley tries. But again, it's as my homie said, games are shit nowadays. So there's no getting around that. So we're blaming Keeley too much when it's really just that the modern game industry is kind of ass. But even something like The Last of Us Remastered, that was something where, let me look at the map really quickly. A lot of people were saying, yo, why did this game need to be remade? Is it because The Last of Us is just so fucking awesome? That's not showcasing us why. I've seen more poignant discussion on Discord about that. Like, okay, this is just a way to get a proper PC port, and that's the main utility of making this type of remake. And that did more to showcase, okay, sort of just like formalizing it before they put it out there. And that had me more understanding of its value than anything else, because you know, some people are gonna purchase this game for the first time on these platforms, or for PC, or PS5, and having those improvements would make sense in that sense. Resident Evil 4, which was shown in the PlayStation State of Play thing, some people were thinking, yo, why does Resident Evil 4 need to be remade? It was already a game that was developed with these high quality assets, and that was true. But that game was kind of a goofball thing, whereas the remake universe tends to be a lot more serious, and they're trying to continue on with a more serious direction for Leon's arc, of him having like PTSD. I got value from that, even though in the beginning I was like, okay, did they really need to remake this? When I heard that last quote, I still remember that day, the pain. If I could just forget that day. Hold on. We got a new mention. That's how you convey value. Okay, that dusts that out of the way. So, I gotta check these rock lizards. That's a temp chest, okay. I'm gonna spend about an hour here, and if I don't get what I want, I'm just gonna move on to something else. Because this isn't conveying value. Although it does showcase some of the flaws with the game. The typical MMO shit of like farming drop rates, padding out game times. Even Final Fantasy 12 emulated this. But thankfully Zodiac Age, just like this game, tried to get rid of as much of its MMO bullshit elements. I like figuring these things out. Let me see. I'm gonna like idiot proof what I'm about to do really soon. Okay, come on, stupid ass. Yeah, I hate how right-clicking works on like modern touchpads. It seems that laptops nowadays are designed in mind for you to just say, fuck it, I'm gonna have a mouse with this. Like a wireless Bluetooth mouse. And that sucks. Okay, let me see. I hate this stupid ass like icon that you have. Come on, right click. There's no way this fucking thing is this shitty. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna try a little more. I know it sounds irritating hearing the clicking noises. My misophonia is going off the charts as I do this, but I gotta idiot proof everything I do now. Okay, so if I hit it hard, people are way too slow anyway. Alright. Attempt to unlock it. Let's see. Examine the lock. Second digit is odd. I didn't intend for that, but did I take too long? I don't know. I think I did a couple bad inputs. Must have like given up on it. Alright, so we're gonna run down on you now. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Come on, this is a logic problem. Second digit is 1, 2, 3. I still don't know what the first digit versus second digit means. Enter combination. Okay, so second digit is like what I would consider the first digit in a one-digit number. Enter combination. So this might actually be of the higher end variety. Okay, so I'm gonna just put 6, 9. 6, 2 actually. It was the hint they provided. Oh, I get it, yeah. It was like 62. Okay, I'm starting to understand the logic of that one a little more. That one, my usual toolkit had to be modified, so I'll be a little more mindful of that. So I'm on a rock lizard hunt. The wiki confirms that they drop eggs over here. They did no such thing for the other locale. Yeah, I don't know why I'm trying to open chests. It's kind of silly of me. I need to go to a shop and start selling stuff. Shit. Come on. Waiting on these lizards is taking a hot ass minute. Let me think about some shit right now. Missions, nations, waiting base. I might be better off just dropping out of this mission because just me killing a bunch of low-level enemies. And this is optional too, that's the thing. Compared to... There's 2 optional missions. I don't gotta struggle for this joint. This is where there's some advantages to the Let's Play formula as opposed to streaming formula, because I could just tell people that I'm cutting this off and we'll be doing this, the rest of this later. But I don't have that option. Oh, let me disengage. I'm sure you wouldn't mind that. You're dead meat, bucko. And this is probably what Resident Arc means when he talks about shit that's disrespectful to the players. This shit is super disrespectful. Okay. Let me go online and try to find an alternate way of getting these things, because lizard egg is the way the game wants you to use it. Guild resale prices. HP plus 5. How to obtain. Okay. So I can go to the auction house to get it. That's probably the better means by which I can do it. And it's gonna mean a lot less of a headache for me in the long run. Oh, you know what I need to do? Now we can move a little more quickly. You see, that rust already had me forgetting about mounts, even though a big thing that I was doing back then was trying to get a mount set up at the behest of my follower. So that's a little disappointing that it took me a while to recall. Hey, you have this decent feature that's meant to help you traverse these large maps. Use it. But we have access to it, we might as well use it. It changes up the music, so things aren't so repetitious. Do I have enough money though? I might have to start selling things, because current region, Bastok markets. How much cash do I have? I think it informed me of how much gil I had, so let me check. Okay, so I have 4,200, so if it's gonna cost anything more than that, this ain't gonna work out, but aside from that, let me see, where... Gotta go up these steps. I gotta start thinking about my thinking. Okay, food, ingredients. Okay, I saw an egg, lizard egg. Oh, okay. Alright, cool. I got the lizard egg. Going the opposite way, so let me... I should really have a lunch break really soon. Catch up on other stuff. Current region. Okay, trade. Let me see. Let me read this. I mean, this isn't a private server, but I noticed you'll get like these weird, funny ass copy pastas every now and then. It's motherfucker, not motherfucker. Yes, these are. This thing was a big ass waste of time. That ended up being saved because I decided to waste money instead, so time is money, I guess. And both are fake. Alright, man. Talk to Makarov or Malduk. Waiting beast. Emissary. Okay, so which one is the one I want to do next? Emissary. Oh yeah. Alright, hold up. Alright, hopefully I'm strong enough that I can do this mission without getting my ass beat. Word, so I'm being escorted there. Okay, so 14 Realm Reborn had a quest line like this where up until now you were like stuck in one place. In my case it was the desert merchant town. And then you had to go to other places. Okay, how do I get to Sandoria? Alright, cool. Yo, what happened to my chin? Oh, I guess it's part of what I'm wearing. Well, he said he was not a travel agent twice, so in that case he can suck the skin out of my D, but if that's as far as he's willing to, you know, be catty with me, I don't really care all too much. Travel to another home point. You know, the similarities between Twitch and Instagram are actually kind of funny in terms of bot behavior. The only thing is that they don't sell sex that much. TikTok is the worst for that, though. Here they just say sell follower bait. And that sounds closer to Kiora. Trying to get guys easy clout. Abilities, mount, red crab. We're trying to do damage, check your IP address, maybe even, what else? Keylog you, which is possibly worse depending on what you value. But I do notice that I do get a lot more activity when I play games that aren't single player, which kind of sucks because I vastly prefer single player as an experience. But hey, if it helps me grow, then I can transfer that into my single player campaigns and what I'm more comfortable with playing. Also, because I looked up some of those PlayStation Plus games that came out, PlayStation Plus extra stuff. They got Toy Story, Ape Escape 1, and Wild Arms, all with platinums. So I'm willing to get my hands on one of those. Once I'm done with Dot Hack GU Volume 3, I'm gonna move on to that. As soon as I came back here to NYC, I started, not that soon, like 5 hours after I came back, I started trying to get trophies knocked out the way for Neg All-Stars Brawl and that game. I will say this, I saw a review of Final Fantasy XI from a dude who was playing it during the pandemic, like 2020 and shit like that, and a lot of the problems that person was having had me thinking, were they on a private server themselves? Because they were speaking about like these new quality of life additions, but they're also speaking about these things that were like dated. And they were kind of locked to level 75. So you can't really go through much of the game. Level 75 with just trusts. Level 99 with I-99 trusts. Yeah, you can just solo through the game without using your head, which is what I'm planning on doing. Wild Arms, Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2 was a game I had when I was like 4 years old, 5, or whatever. And it'd be nice if I could actually beat that game now that I'm not stuck on a PC. Apparently Frank Tufano also had that game. He used to be like a video game addict. What I noticed with a lot of video game addict kids is that like they're usually people whose parents actually don't want them to have video games to begin with. They just never develop any hobbies or interests to like substitute for that. It's weird how introducing the idea that video games are a waste of time makes your video game playing experience a waste of time, but say this. When I was in PA, I was hitting the sticks for way too much because there was nothing else I could do with my pops. The dude, he walks around with a cane. He can't even use that to walk a block and back without his legs completely giving way and turning weak. Thankfully, his home attendant is pretty chill with it and is helpful. This takes way too long, man. Even with the mount, this is like way too much map. But yeah, we were playing Final Fantasy 13. I beat that shit in how many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back in the day, it took me like 6 days to do it. It took me 5 to get it done now. No, 6 actually. Let me do the math in my head. Yeah, so I was tied, except it took me 10 hours more this time around, and I was a lot better at playing the game. I have a grudge with these lizards. The whole lizard family, man, they just don't want me to have the things I want to have. I'm gonna be a little more judicious with my auction expenditures. Especially since I don't have to worry about equipment for a while. I'm gonna just focus on doing quests from now on. Quests, improving my rank, and hopefully raising my level cap and grinding the hell up. .hack GU, I could theoretically just start streaming like part 3 of the game, but I want to at least get done with the main campaign of this game before I head off to .hack. And with the way things are going, I might even want to do Xylar and Prometheus, depending on how long those take. I mean, that's just extra credit, because those two stories are deeply interlinked, and unfortunately, this game's sequel baits, or expansion baits, hard as fuck in the end. It depends on how much I really fuck with the story. Let me try going this way. Okay, let's see. Bastok to Sandoria. Okay. Fame. It's really weirding me out how crazy a lot of motherfuckers are nowadays on Twitch. It just reminded me of Justin TV, where people would get mad at you for like not putting up with their bullshit, or just even putting up with it, man. Like when trolls would get like angry about it. I'm just supposed to like act above it all. Okay, I gotta dismount before I engage with that. Okay, Bastok to Sandoria. Why is it always Sandoria to Bastok, man? Fuck you guys. Valkern Dunes. I mean, it just means I have to apply the logic backwards, but still, it's like... I'm really trying to hate on everything I do. I go Bastok, you're like, I'm a We're gonna economize our knowledge for this. Okay, well, we're on our way to Winders. I am one hungry dude, man. We got good leftovers in the crib now, so I don't gotta worry about food for a while. What am I doing anyway? I guess I got no choice but to proceed from this way. Let me look at my comments section. I've been paying way too much attention to Google and shit like that. No, Bing. Usually when I'm like turned away is when people start telling me shit, but whatever. Yeah, I was hitting the 6 OD with my pops, man. Like, thankfully when Demon Souls was the next game I was playing, I eased up on that, especially since at that time I got all that FF7 news that got me shook with excitement in my leg. Like, not like uncontrollable shaking, but like RLS shaking. I'm like, hell yeah, man. Finally some good news in gaming. Really, we've been getting like, for the first time in a while, it's been a great time to be weeb. And I'm holding on to that opinion, indeed. Even if I had achieved my target goal, I mean, we still got Wings of the Goddess, Treasures of Art from a year prior to that, and Seekers of Audulene, but I'm not too hype on that. I mean, I played 14 to completion, but I didn't do a single expansion. Only reason I'm considering it for this one is because 14 doesn't sequel bait as hard as on this joint. One of my homies said that really 14 and Endwalker were all necessary story stuff end up happening anyway. All the other expansions tend to like focus more on world building, the fleshing out of characters and settings and things of that nature. Core consequential things happen in the beginning and then the end, I guess. Alright, cool. Welcome to Final Fantasy 14, where 11, where I spent all that time trying to grind up, farm up an item, and then I realized, you know what? Let me just look up and get it in an auction somewhere. Thankfully, I'm familiar with the auction mechanics since that's what I've been using to upgrade my armor. It's not like we had to go through a big trial and error process with that, but so it does feel like I invalidated my own work, but that's alright. I would have likely had to use like a Brady Games guide, you know, the Western Ultimania equivalent, but more incorrect and garbage. That said, you know, I had a fair share of weird adventures in Walmart, like, we had to go to a Walmart. That was like the only trip my dad and I had, really. And aside from that, I wanted to get my laundry done on Friday. So Thursday I told my pops, yeah, tomorrow we gotta like work on getting my clothes cleaned up. He was originally just going to send the home attendant to do that, but I'm like, yo, why getting the home attendant to be my mom's and shit like that? Let me go and be present so that I can make sure that everything's going correctly. We go to the laundromat in the strip mall. For some reason, she's in home attendant mode. She's grabbing up on my arm and shit. I'm like, I'm 27 years old. I'm not really like at that point in my life where I need someone walking me the way you walk your dad, my dad and shit like that. I appreciate how you're doing it, but yo, get off of me. Now, I didn't like say all that because, you know, she didn't speak English. She wouldn't understand a word I say. I just understand every word she says. But anyway, we get there and, you know, she's kind of putting all of my stuff in like the cleaning machine, separating them by color and whatnot. And I tell her leave the white shirt behind. She gets confused as hell. Like, oh, why do you not want that thing? I'm like, oh, it's good, man. Like, it's already clean, and it already is. That long sweatshirt was like dumped in with the rest of the stuff. I never got to use it because it's, you know, long sleeve with a wafer pattern. It's like a corduroy. It's meant to keep you warm, and we're approaching the summer. I just, you know, I was quickly packing everything. That's why I was there. But when we get back afterwards, she's basically asking my dad, why didn't he want me to clean the shirt? And I had to explain, oh, it was already cleaned. But it was funny as hell because it basically went how my dad predicted, which is that I would understand every word she was saying, but because I'd respond back in English, She didn't understand a lick of anything I said. It's strange how people kind of clown on me because I don't speak Spanish, but I understand it. Yet, I've never seen a Spanish person that doesn't speak English but understands it. Why is that? I even had that situation yesterday because when I came back to the city, I needed a bunch of cheddar cheese, so I asked the deli guy, hey, can you give me half a pound of cheddar cheese? And he was like, okay. And then when I presented it to the clerk, because he usually measures these things in terms of like slices of the cost, the clerk did not speak a word of English. He kind of freaked out because I just said half a pound. He doesn't know what that translates to in Spanish. It was like un media, whatever, but I'd have to Google that. And whenever I pull out my phone to Google shit, people don't understand what the fuck I'm doing. I'm translating it. Because whatever I'm saying is not that complex. We're not having complex conversations here. It's half a pound. But like, the Rican lady was like, yo, this motherfucker needs to learn English to the clerk. And I'm like, yo, well, I need to learn Spanish. Because it is what it is and ain't what it ain't. But that is just a struggle I had to deal with because I'm a New York Dominican, I guess. Whatever the equivalent of a New Yorkican is. Because I'm Dominican instead. I'm hearing them crows. Alright, let's go. I will say, I've been trying to trip with my pops, resolve my sleep schedule, so that's good. Okay, I'm gonna position it to the end. So we're just heading north. North and slightly to the east. Let's get to Sandoria. I'm sure the enemies here are weak sauce because this was the place designed for starters if they picked Sandoria, so you're grinding here. This, I believe, is what that other dude was getting through when he was doing a speedrun of this game. Oh, you see, I turn the camera and they turn with the camera. I realize, oh shit. That's the problem, man. They turn in with the fucking camera. Gotta get used to PC games. Even though this is really just a PS2 game that can only be played on PC. And it's still essentially running as a PS2 game. One of these days, some of these motherfuckers are gonna have to reverse engineer this game and run it on something that's not the PS2, but no one wants to touch anything in this game, including the glitches, because they don't want to break something. They're shook, man. That's what it is. No, I don't want to be here. Easter Unfair. Yeah, I guess Sandoria is meant to be French. They're going with like Frankish elves and stuff like that. It's all Gaelic and whatnot. I told my mom the story about how she was grabbing up on my arm like I was an elderly, disabled person. She was kind of dying in laughter because it was like, I know how my mom's get at first. She's like, maybe she's coming on you. No, she's not. She's really like thinking about it this way. And then her listening skills kind of finally kicked in, and she was like, oh shit, she's starting to see it how I see it, how it actually played out, and it's like, oh fuck, that's... How come every time some weird shit happens, it's always you? That's the truth right there, man. Every time some weird shit happens, it's always happening to me. So... maybe I'm just cursed. Maybe they just need me to get a bunch of material for my comedy. But really, when you come down to it, my pops was using that home attendant as sort of a surrogate mom for me and like a surrogate wife for himself. So as nice as she is, eventually she's gonna just get annoyed with the motherfucker. I can already tell. He got one of her daughters, like, he tries to like bring her to his room so that she can like watch him play video games, and he's got his crusty ass bare feet with his fungusy decayed toes just like out there. I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, you idiot? And she just get up and walk away because she has like the brain of a attack. But I remember because he got a new PlayStation 4 a couple months ago. I was telling him, look, do you remember the password to your own account? Because I sent this guy a friend request many moons ago, and he never responded. And I guess it's because of that issue, so... No, I try to put, his new login information and everything, and... I'm staring at the password screen, they're both looking straight at it. I told her, like, can you look to the left? So she looks to the left, I put the password in. As soon as I'm done, she gets up and walks away, acting like I just told her to leave, or to stop looking at the screen for the whole duration. Like, I just stopped watching me play the game. No, goofball, I'm just telling you. But that was the thing, because I didn't know if she was like one of those like smart kids that was gonna like look at me put the password in and not like crazy smart, but just like smart enough to remember a brain dead password like the one my pops made that he's like so fried he can't even recall. I had to recall it for him. But yeah, that ended up being an issue. So of course, he's logged on so I can like tell when he's on the PS4, message him, and keep in contact with him through those means. Okay, so let me just this is the music I think of, by the way, when I think of Final Fantasy 11. I think it's because this is the music that... this is the starter area most speedrunners use, and it's also the one I think Mr. Happy used for his shitty-ass Let's Play. He was doing one of those Let's Plays where he abandoned the thing. He didn't even, set the playlists on right. Like, He did not show what made Final Fantasy XI appealing in the slightest. With all the built-up knowledge he has, like, I'm a noob on this shit, so you're watching me, like, struggle through quests that should take, like, half an hour. 10 minutes. This guy's a vet, and he's, like, trying to skip through the main campaign, main story stuff, go straight to, like, Promethea and all this other stuff. I'm like, yo, your recency bias is fucking this all up, man. You fucking up for the game. Okay, well. Okay. I don't get it. Did I not interact with Sylvina in any way? Oh. Okay, so I'll just keep that in mind for when I eventually get there. So Northern Sandoria, great. Missions, nations, emissary. I want to see if I can figure this out on my own. So I'm in this city, and I need to get to someone who will, like, give a fuck about this letter. I will say with the enemy designs in this game, like, it looks like a Final Fantasy, but it doesn't try to be like Final Fantasy, like the MMO. There's originality here. I appreciate that. There's a sense of ecology and world building and atmosphere and presence to this game because it tries to feel like an actual location and world. Okay, so this is the count. So I want to see if the count item. Like a key item, I believe. Key items, let's see. Letter to the consoles. I mean, Account sounds like an important dude, so maybe I gotta give it to him. Thought she was gonna say, yo, my husband is dead. I don't want to remarry, I just want to have sex. Oh, okay, it's a double door. I was about to say, like, you know, you got, like, a copy of yourself in another room. But then I'm like, nah. I'm just not used to places with, like, money, so, like... guess she's like a widower. I gotta say I'm happy I took Bastok as the main location instead of this place, because this place, I like the bagpipes, but that shit will get old super quickly. Like, bagpipes are one of my favorite instruments just because their application can be so creative if you want it to be creative. Like, I'm in a starter area, but I'm not seeing a lot of, like, starter type characters and shit like that. These motherfuckers be having me dead. Yeah, in general, this place seems kind of empty. Even more so than Bastok. So maybe, never mind what I said before, maybe Bastok is like the place to be, and I'm just looking at the grass as being greener on the other side. But then again, this place does seem to be a lot more spacious. This is like the big Elf France place. Chateau de Fort Sandoria. Okay, let's see. Realistically, this game would do a better job of giving you directions, like. They want you to economize your knowledge and shit. I'm assuming it's gonna be Fort Sandoria, because where else would it be? Let me interact with this crystal. Get more points where I can just move around. Oh, that one was super Final Fantasy, like 7-ish. That part of the track, man. I'm liking this section of music right here. This is Nobuo Uematsu getting into his little Final Fantasy 7 joint. He doesn't really get into that type of like composition, not with 10, not with 9, or even 8. Just letting notes ring out like that, get low and kind of ominous. You don't do that no more. Anyway. Oh, port. I thought it said fort. Why would this place have a fort? It's like a big walled off castle anyway. Vita. Let's see. Watchtower. Okay. Is that gonna be where I get to where I need to go? Well, this takes me out of town. Okay, I see, that makes sense. Oh shit, my meat is out. Good thing I don't stream with webcams on, because you guys would have seen my a little bit of cock, man. Just a little bit of cock, but. Since I'm here, I could probably try and get the trust for all the other characters here. Okay, let's see. Restaurant fair. Let's see. What do we got here? These guys are guarding the gate. It's a conquest. So these guys aren't gonna have like the mithril musketeers. Okay, so there's no like western or eastern Sandoria. It's northern and southern Sandoria and east and west Ronfair. Alright, cool. Okay, so what awaits me past here? Chateau de Orgo. Oh, okay. So this place is guarded. That's a good sign. Guy Larme. Bastok mission free. Okay, the emissary. Northern Sandoria. Okay, so I gotta go to the consulate of Winders, and that's actually kind of down here. Oh, it's Cast Consulate of Bastok. Okay, so that's right here. Okay, makes sense. You would have consul things, so they talk to like specific foreigners, guys who can like understand their customs and I guess languages if that was a thing. Okay, we got a lion. I remember when Mr. Happy spoke about this lady. I got her as a trust. You kind of suck, though. Okay, so either they're getting smarter because of like microevolution or something else is going on. Okay. You know, I should act like the old me and just like rely completely on the walkthroughs for all of this stuff. I'm trying to do it originally, but since I'm already economizing most of the information I'm on, I should just embrace my inner H.C. Bailey. Okay, but we've been getting our ass kicked by these beastmen anyway. You ain't lying. Yeah, all these like embassies. It's starting to remind me of Crossbow Arc, which I'll be getting to that in a couple months anyway. Okay, well. I wonder if they'll stop me. Oh no, I got their blessing now. Okay, Halber's the one I had to speak to. Okay, so these guys are essentially ethnocentric, I guess. Racial chauvinism, I guess, as Forney or Parrot actually would describe it after Parrot. Shrimps, warheads, furballs. Okay, so you guys want me to deal with that? Okay. Well, if that's the case, then let me set this place as my home point. We'll do the rest of this tomorrow. I'm actually getting kind of hungry right now, so I think I'm gonna have myself a decent lunch. Until then, we'll probably do the rest of chapter or mission 2-3 tomorrow. This has been your boy Wisdom7. Thank you guys for watching. It's good to be back and update you all. And suck my dick.